What's going on, everyone? We'll be starting here soon. Just trying to get my day situated. Really, there's not much opportunity that I see for me. So seems like it could be another slow day for me. With that being said, doesn't mean I'm not looking for opportunities. My main watches are Riot and HOFV. I've been longing HOFV pre-market, selling to pops, and we'll see what happens. I'm looking if we get a squeeze here, if we break high day. If we don't, then I'll cut off the rest, but we will see. Again, as normal, just FYI, if you're new here, welcome. I don't do this every day, but I do it often. And if you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Other than that, do me a favor, hit the like on this video because it helps me find more viewers and it helps me out a lot. It's an easy way to say thank you for doing these kind of things, and it's fun, especially when I get likes, so I appreciate that. Other than that, I will get to questions after I'm done trading. I will start to read chat after I'm done trading because I do need to focus, but thank you for being here and we'll get started. Whew. Bitcoin looks to be recovering today, so because of that, I am pretty much kind of biased towards the long side on Riot. So Riot, I would love a dip. I'm just not sure, to be honest, I'm not sure where I'd like to buy. So I'm just watching it right now. And HOFV, I'm not sure if it's going to work at all. But I like the odds right now, and we'll see what happens. The volume's pretty decent. OUST, you know, part of me wants to short that, but part of me is like, no. So I'm probably going to ignore it. Yeah, I'll probably ignore it. So I got two main watches. HOFV looks like we're about to get a little spiker. 550's resistance on HOFV. This Riot. Let's see what HOFV does right here. We're going to break 520. Are we going to break it? Yeah, I think we're going to break it. Come on. Come on and break it for us. So the whole reason why I'm longing HOFV, let me explain that real quick. I mean, it doesn't matter if it works or not. The thesis is the same. Big picture, it's just dying out, right? But then you see this downtrend that finally broke to the upside, and then you see it breaking above this previous support, which is acting as resistance. So because of that, I was interested in it. And I'm assuming that there's a lot of shorts who were shorting these pops, and now that we're reversing, they could be covering. Because I would be covering if I was short, right? So we broke above this pivot, and I was thinking, you know what? There may be an opportunity to go long. And when it dipped here, I started to long off these 490 area, because you can see there's also support right here, previous resistance at that area. So I started to long right in that area, and then I started to sell and then add on dips because we started to form a trend. And if we break this trend, I'll probably just get out the rest of my position. But if we can hold that trend, it could be a nice little trade. So that's pretty much it. Selling into pops because I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that I like the setup. And if it breaks this 520s, we can get a nice little squeezer because this is an ascending triangle now. And these ascending triangles can really move if they get going. And the volume is looking pretty decent. So that's the whole thesis around why I went long HOFV. Now, if it works is a whole nother thing. I have no clue. Like, you never know if a stock's going to work. You just don't. No one does. We just put the odds in our favor and then let it pan out and the risk reward. Like the risk reward right now, if you chase it, it's not good. But if you get in the low fives, at 5 or 490s, it's a pretty good risk reward, because if we break through, here we go, we can have a nice little squeezer. Let's see if we can get that to go a little higher. I mean, on big picture, I don't see resistance until really the 550s. And then if we go through that, 570s. So I'm definitely going to sell a piece halfway through. To me, it's 530s. And then hold for 550s and sell another piece and see what it looks like. Maybe sell it all there, just because it's a slow day for me. To me, it's slow. But we finally broke, which is nice. So I'm hoping that we'll get some little squeeze happening. Because that's the whole thesis behind this trade. I'm looking for some type of move, and we'll see if we get that. Hey, we got some people on Twitch watching. Welcome Twitch. Welcome Twitch people. Welcome Twitch people. Do me a favor, everyone, if you're watching, hit the like button. It helped me get more viewers. I really appreciate that. But again, if you enjoyed me breaking down HOFV and why I'm going long, let me know. Put it in the comments. And I will be getting to your questions after I'm done trading. Right now, I need to focus on my own trading. I'm hoping that Riot gets us a nice dip. That dip right here was too quick. There's no way I would have caught that unless I had an order sitting there. But I like a bigger dip, because I think we can get a nice little squeeze on Riot today too. But who knows? No one knows. No one knows. Just sold a piece. Okay, so it's working out pretty well so far. Here's one thing that I'll say about longing. As you guys know, if you're new, you might not know this, but I started off more short selling. What I've learned though with longing is there's not that many opportunities. I personally feel like, at least on the day trading side. Swing trading, I long all the time, and there's so much opportunity. I feel like, I say so much, but there's a lot more. I will say that the risk reward on longs, I feel it's better. That's just a personal feeling. I mean, I have just my own experience, and it's quicker. I feel like you get your risk reward pretty quick. Like, you know you're right pretty quick, and you know you're wrong pretty quick too. Whereas with shorting, sometimes it's not that way. I mean, OUST almost looks like it can start to squeeze. It really does. I mean, it's not looking like it's going to be a short, but it could be. But right now, I'm just saying, like, it looks more like a squeezer, which is probably why I'm not going to short it. So the good news is, since I'm in this at basically, I got in at 495, sold, re-got in, sold, and now if we start to break down, just get out, and it'll be a nice little, it wouldn't be the best trade, but it won't be a loser, which would be pretty dope. Be a nice little setup. But I wouldn't want it to break below this 510 area, 513. Just because we've been holding nicely, and we just had an attempt to break, and we're not going to break. So I'd get out the rest for a small gain. We'll see. I would love for this to hold this 510, 512 area, but I could see it crack, and if it cracks, I wouldn't be shorting it personally, but I definitely could see that happen, and I'll be getting out the rest of my position. And one other thing, if you are playing any opportunities pre-market, you can't use stops. You have to manually execute your trades, which sucks because I don't like doing that. I like to just put my orders out there, and I like to relax, enjoy my morning, but if I see an opportunity, I'm going to take it, so I got to sit here and watch it, which is fine, but you just got to be aware. If you're someone who's new at trading, and you're trying to buy something or short something pre-market, and you set a stop order to get you out or take profits, and then you walk away, you could be in for a heart attack. Well, so far it's kind of supporting. We have the bids and the ask the same, 516, which is a good sign sometimes that we could start to push to the upside because we've been defending the 515s. But it doesn't matter. I mean, at the end of the day, if price action breaks down, it breaks down. So we'll see. Really, this 513 area, I'd probably get out if that breaks and I'll be done. Maybe 512. Still watching Riot. Okay, so OUST was interesting. We had a little pop. Let me see, pull that up real quick. Oh, I'm going to be out of that just because I want to pay attention to OUST right now. This was interesting to me. We had a little pop and fail. And I'm very curious right now if I already have shares of this. And it looks like I don't. Let's see. I kind of like that little rejection. I'm not gonna lie, because we had to pop over this resistance and then reject it. So I do like that, because I was thinking we're gonna get a squeezer here, but the fact that we didn't is to me a good sign. But I'm not gonna go big size on this one because I'm kind of conflicted. But I'm still gonna play a small position, because if it ends up flushing, you know, it'll be a nice little trade. So I am watching it very closely. Very tight risk on that too. HOFV broke down a little bit, which is why I covered, why I sold that piece. So HOFV, to recap, so the whole reason why I got in this trade, if you look up here, there's the executions, but if you look on my screen to the right, thank you so much for the like. You'll see on the right hand side, I think it's right here, right? The right hand side, is that where I'm pointing at? Yeah. So on the right hand side on my Thinkorswim chart, I can review it, and you'll see that big picture, we're downtrending, but we broke that downtrend to the upside, broke above this last pivot, which was resistance, and now it became support. You can see when we dipped, we became support. You see this dip here? Let's zoom out. You see this resistance? We dipped, support. You see I entered near support, sold, entered near support, sold, and then got rid of the rest of the position. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy trade, easy setup. That's it. It's very simple there. I'm not gonna sit here, and if it recovers, it recovers. Like, that's trading. But if it dies, it dies. I mean, at the end of the day, I have no idea what's gonna do. I'm just gonna let the price action tell me, and I'm gonna take my position. So with Oust, I took a position because we're on the backside. But the reason I was nervous about shorting to this pop is because I don't really see, yeah, there's resistance here, but I don't really see like a very, very clear picture. Because I could easily see it squeeze, and it could still squeeze, but because we got a little shove and then fell, I like that sign. And because I like that sign, and I got this picture on the side over here, on my side, I'm gonna take a position. I may be wrong, but who knows? We'll see. We will see. Market opens pretty quickly here, and if it breaks above that 30, I'm out. Like, I'm not even gonna sweat it. But I will add too, so I'm watching it. Stand by. All right, I'm back. Whew, before the market opens, I have to use a quick bathroom break. So we're gonna get started here. Good luck, everyone. Remember, I'll get to questions as soon as I'm done trading. Please hit that like button because I appreciate that. It helps me see more viewers. So let's get this started. OUST has a spread I don't really like, so I'm not gonna add too much too quick, but I probably will add. Still watching Riot, because Riot, I really like the opportunity there. I'm watching this one real quick because I want to see what it does up in this area. I just added a little more. Because risk reward isn't too bad. You know, you risk to 1030. If we get a quick drop, that'll be nice. But I'm not going to just go in big size yet because, like I said, I'm not 100% comfortable. And if I'm not comfortable with that setup, I'm not going to go in big. So we got ALS that may work, it may not. We'll see. HOFV, I'm glad I sold the rest of my long there. And I'm watching Riot right now too. And when I'm watching Riot, I'm also watching Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's still doing pretty nice. So this squeeze right here isn't surprising, but I'm not going to just start to get out. I'm going to just let it pan out and see. Because if we start to get a flush here, it'll be nice. But if we squeeze above his 1030s, I'll be getting out. But again, since I don't feel comfortable with it, I'm not going to add anymore. Because look at that. We're getting a push. This push is very important. So let's see how this push reacts. I'm very curious what it does here. If it breaks through, then I will not be touching this, at least to the short side. But it's very interesting right now because we try to go red, right? And then we recovered pretty quickly. So, you know, you could easily see why we could squeeze. And we also got support right here. So since there's so many conflicting parts, it makes me even more uncomfortable to go feel full position. I'm just going to stay a small position and I'll be at least okay if I'm wrong. But when things aren't great, I'm not going to force it. Of course I want to trade. I freaking love it, but at the same time, I'm not going to force it. I just covered a small piece. Oh, it looks like I didn't even need to. I just covered a small piece, but then we have a flush. That's funny. Let's see if I can get that other piece covered. Because we definitely have support right here. Oh, maybe not. That cover looks very bad. How it's recovering right there, I don't like. But I'm still going to stick to the plan. We got support all right here, so it's probably why I'm just a little anxious on that one. Riot's a little double topping at 51.50 right now. Could easily continue higher though. Still long bias on that one. I may start to look to add on pops on OUST. I'm trading very like conservative today. This whole week has been so slow. So like when the market starts to get slow, things aren't really working. I trade a lot more safe because I'm just like, you know what? Like it's not worth the stress right now. Because the whole goal is to make sure that during slow times, it may not be slow for you, but like for me, if it's slow for me, then instead of diving right underwater, under my, basically my equity curve, instead of taking a dive, I wanted to at least tread and consolidate, or maybe go very small up until I see something I'm very comfortable with, and then I can size in. And I'd rather lose on those or win on those because it's a big risk reward. Like you see how this one, I just don't like, it's just like pop, 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 pop. And that's okay, like it's not that big of a deal. But the spread's about 10 cents. And the spreads with 10 cents, if you're going to be playing this, you need to make sure that you need to gauge that and size in appropriately. But ideally, I like to see this kind of flush to 9. But we'll see. I mean, we can get a little flush to 9, that'll be really nice. I may start to add on this short too if we get a nice pop. Still looking for a drop on Riot. Hey, by the way, everyone, thank you for watching yesterday's episode. If you're wondering, I release episodes every Monday and Wednesday at 12 market time. And everyone in live chat went to go check it out. So I appreciate you all for doing that. We got a lot of views on that video. All right, so Riot's dipping a little bit. I'm looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is not too bad. You got a little pop there on OUST. Riot is a very choppy stock. What I've learned with trading Riot, it's very choppy. So like, it's not abnormal or a big deal if we get a double top and then drop all the way back down, because it's choppy and it could recover pretty quickly. I've seen it so many times with Riot. So you just got to be careful. If you're going to trade Riot, just know that and plan accordingly. By the way, everyone, appreciate you all being here. Do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't. And if you already subscribed, appreciate you. If you're not, think about hitting that subscribe button and hitting the bell so you're notified when I do this again. And if you want to go above and beyond that and you're already a subscriber, thank you. You don't have to do anything above and beyond, but if you'd like to, share it with a friend or another trader, the show, or hit that join button on the YouTube channel and make a small pledge donation to the show. And I really appreciate that. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you for doing anything and just showing up. I will be getting to your questions shortly as my trading starts to slow down. But for now, I need to be focused on my trading. So I'm just watching Riot and OUST to figure out how I'm going to add, where I'm going to enter, and so forth. If you're late, we went over HOFV because I longed this pre-market, sold it on the way up, and sold it some for a small gain on the way down. And then OUST, I shorted it. And these are all small positions relative to what I trade. They're like quarter, third. They're not really big positions right now because the market is a little iffy for me. So I'm being a little bit careful. Now, because I got a little bit of a cushion, you could say I'm not going to be loose. I'm just now realizing that OUST is working kind of nicely. So if it can pop, maybe I'll add. And Riot, though, is the one I'm more confident in. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but I'm looking for a position on the long side if we can get a nice dip. If we don't get that dip, then I'm just going to ignore it. My back. You saw that slouch? That is not good. I don't want to be slouching like that. I don't really see anything else other than the ones I'm watching, which is fine. All right, we're getting a little pullback on OUST, which is nice. Still hoping we get a push. The more this pulls, the more confident I'm going to feel about adding on pops. However, if you look on the 5-minute, we're just straight down. So it hasn't had one bounce yet. And I like the 5-minute to gauge that. And if we don't get a bounce yet, I want to see a nice bounce. I assume we'll get one, but doesn't mean it will happen. Riot is just choppy right now. I don't see a good long entry for me. Doesn't mean there isn't one. I just don't see one. and it could continue. I believe just from watching the chart that we're going to go higher, but doesn't mean it's going to happen. So I want to make sure my risk reward is there, and I want to get in a dip. Maybe I'll get in the 50s. It could break 50, which could be scary looking, but like I said, Riot is choppy. So if it does that, I may get in, may not, but I wouldn't be too surprised if I did get in. It's a choppy stock. We're getting some continuation here, which is nice to see. Just covered another piece because right now what I'm looking for, I'm waiting for that bounce. And if we get that bounce, then I'll be able to add with more confidence because I'll cover most of my position. Now, if we don't get that bounce, then yeah, I just took too much too soon. But I just really feel like we'll get a bounce on this. Riot's getting that dip now. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, we're going to get a dip. It's definitely not going to be fun for longs right now. They're going to be scared. And they should be. I mean, I wouldn't like it to do this, but at the same time, I'm not going to not get in because it was part of my plan. I think Riot is going to continue. And so, based off the chart, it's dipping too on Bitcoin. That's okay. But I'm just taking an entry position because I think we'll still dip. And right now, I'm thinking Riot. I mean, I may have to risk 49s and add all the way down, but we'll see. There goes a little bounce I'm talking about on Oust. Riot, I took a small entry position. Yeah, definitely looks dumb. If you're not looking at the big picture, like, oh, you're literally longing on the breakdown. But, you know, I know what Riot does, and I could be wrong. That's just part of trading. And I'm okay with that. But we also got support here. You see the support line? I'm not looking at like level 2. I'm looking at the lines. And right now support tells me that's a good entry. It's not too bad. And if I can get in there, why not? But I obviously see we're breaking low a day. So that's why I'm not going in big size, because that means we could get a nice flush. And if we get a flush to 49, maybe I should take it all the way down to 49. You know, like, that may be a good thing to do. So we'll see. 49 to me is support because, I mean, really because of this pre-market, to be honest. But we'll see. I'm hoping we get a bounce, but I don't know if we're going to get that bounce. It just keeps on looking weaker and weaker for Oust here. So look at that little, that doesn't mean I'm going to add right away, but that's a very good sign to me. Like, sure, we broke down, but doesn't mean we're not going to continue. This doesn't look good, trust me. I know, but I'm paying attention to the big picture, and the big picture tells me I should be long. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm just paying attention to that. And if you look at Bitcoin, it's recovering. We're getting a pullback on Bitcoin, but it's not like dying, so that's not bad. If you're curious how to look at Bitcoin and how to watch that, here, let me send you the link that I use so that way you guys can at least see that. You can check out the chart there. Still looking for a bounce on the Oust. Very is on my radar, but VERY, there's no setup to me. It's just a gamble. This is just a clear gamble to me. Like, I don't see anything. Literally, it just looks like a gamble trade. Like, you're just buying it because you hope that it'll go up. Yeah, you can definitely paint a picture, though. Like, you can be like, yo, like, look at this support. Absolutely. Like, if you buy at the support level you got in here, amazing. But I didn't like the way Very's trading. It's like a 30-cent spread, sometimes $1. I'm just not going to be part of that. It's like too much stress right now. I am looking at AVCT. Very interesting how we're following this pattern here. The only reason I ignored it because it didn't look too nice. And I'm being very skeptical today. I can definitely hear myself say that, so. And because I have to pay for shares for AVCT, I mean, why not just trade stocks that have free shares? You know, like, to me, that's easier. Especially if it's not like a beautiful trade. So now I'm paying attention to it, though. That was a nice little rejection. I'm very, very late. But, you know, if we get a nice spike, it could still happen. It could definitely still happen. And support-wise, maybe the 680s. So ideally, a big pop would be nice. But Oust is still my number one. It's definitely still my number one. And Riot's bouncing, which is nice. Nice little bounce here. It looks like I had a nice little dip buy. I could think about adding now to that dip buy, like when it dips a little more. But we'll see. Oust is finally maybe going to bounce. We haven't even had one bounce yet. But hopefully we will. Do me a favor, everyone. We have about 100 people in this room. Thank you for watching. We have about 50 likes. If you're enjoying this, please do me a favor and hit that like button. I appreciate you. As I do every time I stream, I will get to your questions. You can ask everyone who's been here multiple times that I do answer your questions. So just stay tuned. I just need to focus on my trading and I'll get to those soon. So remember I said at the beginning, Riot is choppy. So this is normal for Riot and how it's acting. So I could see it continue to downtrend, but for now, I like this. And I'm hoping that we can get a little uptrend action going on. I wonder what the, it's not too bad. Not too bad, not too shabby. You can definitely still get dips. Hindsight, HOFV was a great short. Pretty wild right there. Oh man. Oust. I'm going to try to add on this pop. If we can get a pop, I'm going to try to add on Oust. We'll see if we can get that pop. This would be the first bounce, so it wouldn't be too surprising to me that we get a nice pop. But I'll start adding in the 80s because, or I mean, green red's right there too, right? So. And we're gonna get a bounce. I might have missed an ad just now. Oh man, I just realized I missed that. That sucks. Again, thank you guys and gals for watching. Joey Critch05 from Twitch. Thanks for being here, my man. Twitch, we got 10 viewers on Twitch, which is awesome. And a lot of viewers on YouTube, so I appreciate that. But Joey from Twitch says he sees 0 trades today. Just sitting and learning the price action. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand. It's just slow, man. Like, there's a lot of gamble trades for sure. But there's no real easy setups today. And Riot's the only one I feel good about, but I'm still not even sizing in because, well, I just missed another ad. I have an order in 50s again, but barely missed it. I think it went to like 50.01. Oh my God. It went to 50.01. Ridiculous. I'm trying to add on Oust. Hopefully we can get an ad on this pop here. And just because I add doesn't mean I know what the hell's gonna happen. Could easily tell. It could easily go down. Or go against me. Oh man. Oh man. So let me get to some questions while I wait for these setups to kind of form up. Oh, before I do that, let me make sure there's nothing else that's that's setting up. Look at that, just complete meltdown. Didn't expect that at all. Okay. Well, that sucks. It just popped 970, not 980. God, come on, man. It's just one of those days. All right. Caucasian, Oust buy signal at 9, at 6:51. You know, Caucasian, I appreciate you saying something. I appreciate you being here. I think everything's hindsight when you try to say something that's way long time ago. But maybe giving a better clarification on why you think it is, not just saying it is, can help others. So I appreciate you trying to help people. Just make sure you put a little description on why you think that. Nicholas Sim, thanks for being here. Check out Vuzi all-time highs. Let's check it out. since I just missed this trade. Freaking. Let me put a cover. Voozy. Look at that, blue skies again. 30.65. Oh, look at Riot moving up. That's nice, Riot. Good job. Good job moving up without my full position, but just sold a piece of Riot. Because why not? It's working for me, you know what I'm saying? All-time highs on Voozy. Good volume on the weekly. Today's decent volume. Rejection yesterday. Nice little trend right here. I think I'm gonna cover all of Oust if I can get a cover. Yeah, I'm all done with Oust. Nice quick short. So HOFV did decent on, Oust did decent on. Good trading at the end of the day. And Riot. Now we're just long that one and just sold a piece and I'm still in it. Back to Voozy. Voozy is uptrending. It's a nice uptrend. Great dip buy if you bought it down here. Look at that nice dip buy support. Man, I wasn't looking at this. It's just straight up spike now, so I'd be careful. But I like it. I do like it. Let me add it to my chart. I do like it. I think it's pretty dope. Pretty dope, dope, dope. Has somewhat of a trend right now. You can see that right here. Hey, thanks for following me, Zenectex. Appreciate that. That's interesting. So Voozy is pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I'll be watching it. No, they don't have a plan yet, but I'm watching it. Thank you for putting on my radar. William's saying coffee for you. Yeah, I know, man. I had my wife made me an espresso today. It was delicious. Tastes literally like Starbucks. Ridiculous. But it wasn't enough, I guess. Fizzy. I think I tried Stocks to Trade like when it came out, and it was garbage to me. And that was a long time ago, so I don't know what it's like now. But back then, it was garbage to me. And that's because it always lagged out. It was just bad. I can't trade like that. Beat Sounds. He wants me to look up Mara, I guess. Let's look up Mara real quick. Some decent volume. Let's delete those little things. Nice little trend going on. Breaking this temporary downtrend right here. I could see why you might be long bias, for sure. But we also got resistance at 52. So you gotta be careful right around this area. So anything up here would be a chase, a bad chase. Like the entries right here. Kind of like Riot. You know, Riot is this very similar to Riot. Look at Riot. Very similar. So, but the resistance is until really like 52, right? This area, 52.50. Right here. Right here, 52. So very similar, but you know, I can see why you're looking at it. It's very interesting setup. Not for me personally, but hey, if you're long that, right now it's very bullish. But any entry up here is just a bad entry because to me that's a chase. Like look at this. This is too high from here. Adrian, what's up, Adrian? Welcome back. Appreciate you coming back. You want me to look at VISL? Let's check it out. It's good practice too. VISL is nothing very clear. I mean, we're definitely kind of breaking above this 320 area. It's just not very clear to me. Like, nothing stands out. I mean, you have resistance here, you have resistance here. Like, I don't see an opportunity for me. So that's a tough one. It's too choppy. It doesn't look clean. It's just, to me, it's just like everywhere, you know? So I don't really know. Morin, what have you traded, Morin? Let me know, and then I'll give you what I traded. Let's do a little share. Tell me what you traded today. Beat Sounds, thanks, bro. No problem, brother. DHN Videos, UPSD. Let's check it out. By the way, Morin, I've been showing everything that I trade. You can see it up here. And I've been showing it, so the only reason I give you that shit is because you should be seeing it. But I can go over all those other trades in the future. I just want to answer some questions that people have. UPST. I mean, it's definitely breaking down. Some more. This is short bias. Like, I'm definitely short bias on this. There's no doubt. There is no doubt. Like, short bias for sure. And so it's a matter of entries, right? Like, if you can get a pop. What's the volume today on this? The volume sucks. I wouldn't. I just don't like. I mean, we're already an hour, almost an hour, or 40 minutes in the day, and not even 1 million shares traded. I like good volume, and this to me is not good volume. So for me, I don't like it. But I did like, the chart. The chart looks pretty nice. Adrian wants to know if I look at flow rotation to make decisions on my trades. A little bit. I mean, I don't want to say no completely, but there's some times where I do care. I don't know how to distinguish that. It's more of I'm aware that a float rotated stock can be erratic, meaning it can just whiplash up, whiplash down. It could be choppy. There could be good trades on both sides. But because I know that, I'm going to give it more of a range, more wide risk, which means I'll lower my profits for sure, my risk reward, but I'm more comfortable in the trade. And to me, that's more important. Poco, well, welcome back, Poco. What do you think of SOS? I had it on my radar, but I didn't like it. Because it's already made its move, It's already did its move. There's not a lot of range. I thought this was going to support, which it looks like it is. I just don't like it. To me, it's not a trade anymore. It's kind of over. So I don't like it personally. Robert Ragnar. He asked me, what does the volume tell you about the price action? To me, volume really tells me, thank you for the follow, Best Sounds. It really tells me about, hold up, I lost my train of thought. Volume is more of a confirmation, okay? I did a whole video about volume, by the way. You can go to my YouTube channel, and it's only like everything you need to know about volume in under 4 minutes, something like that. It's like real short. But I'm gonna give you a quick recap. Volume is confirmation, okay? if you look for volume, let's say you're looking at a breakout. Breakout's easiest to explain because everyone knows what that is. So if you're looking for a breakout and you buy a stock and volume isn't there, let's say it's normally trading every minute, it's trading 10,000 shares. And then when you buy that breakout, it trades 10,000 shares. The confirmation really isn't there. It's just saying, oh, it's just normal, not a big deal. Doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means be aware that you haven't got confirmation. So if you're in it, just be careful. Now, same scenario if it breaks out and the volume instead is 100,000 shares. That's really good confirmation. Now, confirmation doesn't mean it's confirmation you're right. It just means confirmation that there's interest. So if it does that and shoves up nicely, then it's positive. But if it kind of shoves and then rejects really hard with volume, then that's also confirmation that you're wrong, right? So it's all it is confirmation. One other way I view volume, and this is not correct, okay? But it helps me understand. One way I view volume, this is again not correct, but it really helps me understand. I view volume as if it's 100,000 shares traded in that 1 minute candle, I view it as there's 100,000 people interested or disinterested in that stock. Obviously, one person could buy 100,000 shares, but I'm just saying it helps me understand the popularity of that movement, and it helps me put things together in emotions, because we're only trading, unless you're trading algos, you're mostly trading against people for the most part. So we're getting a dip here on Riot, which is fine, which is very fine. Remember, Riot's choppy. Let's look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing okay. So remember, I'm using Bitcoin as a gauge. I'm looking at this. I'm trying to figure out where's the best entry. And right now, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. But I'd love a nice dip. Right now, I obviously see we held this 5120s and we're breaking down, which is not good. It's definitely not good. But I'm still more long bias on this setup because of big picture. So I'm going to let it do its thing. I'm going to consider adding on dips and let it pan out. I'm just going to stick with my plan. That's my plan the whole time. Like my plan with Oust, to add on dip on pops, but I didn't get the ad, so I just covered. Same thing with HOFV, to buy on dips, sell on rips, and then sell the rest when it starts to break, which is what I did. And so now with Riot, same thing. Like, I am still long biased, so I'm looking to buy more dips and sell on pops. Jay Martin asks, any good and free service to paper trade stocks? Oh, look at that little pop on Riot. I see the same pattern as a trade in Forex working great, and I might give it a shot. Thinkorswim has free. It's definitely free, and you can paper trade. Gage Messier. Do you focus primarily on trends of the chart when placing trade? I mean, you could say yes. The trend is your friend, but I'm looking at support, resistance as well, and range. Amster Cam. Hey there, first time viewer. Thank you for checking it out. What is your best advice for newbies about where to get started interested in crypto? On crypto, I am not the person to ask that advice. I mean, I buy crypto, but I'm still freaking new at it. However, in terms of just get started on trading in general, because I believe trading is trading no matter what you're trading. So I would say definitely go to my channel. And there's a section at the very beginning on the main channel. If you scroll down a little bit, it says if you're new, start here. You can watch those videos. Those are a really good start. And there's a video about like terminology to help you understand lingo, all of that stuff. Setups, charts, all that. Nice little pop there on Riot, which is nice to see. Remember, there's resistance at 52 that I'm paying attention to. And ideally, I like to get in, get out some around there. Robert Ragnar from Twitch. Thanks, man. I'm going to watch a video after this. I know all price action does is up the probabilities. Nothing is for certain in trading. I just never heard volume as another confirmation. But it makes sense with black pools. And so, thanks again, man. You're the best. No worries. I think you mean dark pools is what you meant. Uncle Mickey from Twitch. Yo, man, is there a way to access Thinkorswim from Canada? I don't know. I'm not from Canada. I never had that issue, so I don't even... I could say yes, but I don't know. Jay Martin, thanks. Thank you. John Evans, can you check out ears for a second? Yeah, I can check it out. It does have good volume. Thank you for pointing out. So every spike has failed, right? It's definitely obvious. Got a little break above 360s. We got resistance in the 440s, 460s. You know, you can easily say we're breaking this downtrend as well. The main downside to this is every spike fails. The history. I'm watching it now. I don't have a plan for it yet, but I'm watching it because it could squeeze, and it's squeezing right now, obviously. But I don't see a setup yet, but I like it. I like it. Let me go ahead and change up my watch list to highlight the ones I'm really interested in. No longer interested in HOFV, so I can get rid of that. IMP, not really interested in that. Riot, still good. AVCT, yeah, maybe. APRE, nope. Oust, maybe. Ears, yeah, I'm interested in ears. SOS, look at that. A little nice bounce there. Voozy. I'm watching Voozy, guys, but like, this is interesting. So my hesitation on Voozy is we're holding all-time highs. Look at this support right here. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little iffy of it. Yeah, I'm not confident, but I'm watching Voozy too. Like, I'm not gonna, let me highlight that. So I like Voozy. Very, I don't really care about. And ears is interesting. Voozy I'm watching for sure. It looks like an interesting potential play here. Stand by the way, because I personally need to use the restroom, so 1 second. Okay, so nice little pop on Riot. Really happy about that. That looks really nice. Thank you for the, I don't know if that was a like, a subscribe, a follow. Thank you, Not Sinatra. Not Sinatra, appreciate that. I'm watching Voozy right now because I do like that it's all-time highs. I do like that we're trending upwards. I do think that right now it's a long. Hold on 1 second. Did I just miss my freaking sell? Oh my god, I did. Alright, there we go. Just sold another piece because 52 is resistance, remember? On Riot. And now I am in a hold to see if we break that 52 area. So Voozy, I mean, part of me, I mean, the trend is, I mean, it's definitely long right now, but I'm watching it. I don't know. I don't know if I go long or short. I don't know. But I am watching it. You can do me a solid, everyone. We have about 100 people in here, 73 likes. If you can hit that like button if you haven't, I appreciate it. Let's get to 100. I'd really appreciate that. By the way, Bitcoin is ripping, which is probably why Riot is ripping. Adrian says the market shifting or cool down only. What do you think? I don't know. To be honest, I have no clue. Sure. Okay. What's up, Bourbon? Welcome, welcome. I don't know what happened to him, Razak. Razak was like, what happened to Roland Wolf? That's a random question. What do you mean? What happened? Ooh, we could get a little pop off. Adrian, did you execute your early trade? What do you mean? Ace, great trading lately. I appreciate it, Ace. Bourbon, how high you see ears going? Do you think eyes will follow? I don't know. That's funny though. Ears and eyes. I don't know. Johnny, hey, Be the Trader. I watched you on your 2 videos last night and you mentioned something about too much volume and rotating the float. Is there a cutoff in terms of float size and how much volume is too much? A float rotation is what I was talking about. So like if it's float rotates, it just means you got to be aware that it's erratic and it can just whiplash either direction. That's what it means. So there's not a like, oh, if it's a 100 million float, be careful. It's like if it's a 1 million float and it's already traded 2 million, be careful. If it's a 100 million float and it's already traded 200 million, be careful. Caucasian, yeah, it is a boring day. Oh, Razak, go ask him, man. I don't know. I'm not rolling. You know what I'm saying, brother? Adrian, sorry for many questions. Last question. What do you prefer? Oh my god, that's funny. I like both. No worries, Johnny. So Vuzi is interesting because like there's conflicting, right? Like we have an uptrend, big picture, we have an uptrend intraday, we have a breakout, big picture. So there's more long bias, but we have also just been kind of steady going up without really big pullbacks. I don't know. I'll probably ignore it. Nathan, you mostly into mid to large cap breakouts? That's nope, incorrect. I'm mostly into trading, so I trade small caps, mid caps, and big caps. I swing and I long and I short. Do all of the above. Uncle Mickey, do I know of any free websites to get historical data? I don't. Sorry, buddy. Jay, I'm going to focus on OTC stocks for these next few weeks. I got to adapt. Hey, go for it. Have they been popping off? I don't really trade OTCs not because they're hard or because they're actually easy, I think. But because you have to sit there and execute everything. And I'm going to go to the gym like I do every day. And when I go to the gym, I don't want to have to watch a stock because you can't really put a stop or a profit target on an OTC because they'll just slip majorly and you will not get out. So you have to manually do it. So I'm just curious, have you been seeing a lot of things happening over there? I'm probably going to be wrong here. I took a small position on Vuzi, but I'm probably going to be wrong. If it breaks 45, I'll be out. It's just quick short, but the risk reward is really, really good right here. So I figured why not? Because even if we drop to like, what? Maybe we'll get a drop. Even if we get a drop and hold 60s, that's a pretty good risk reward, which would be nice. Thank you. Hey, Alex Lee. Yo, thank you for being a member. Thank you for joining and pledging to the show a small donation. That means a lot to me, brother. It means a lot to me, and I appreciate you doing that so much. Thank you. Thank you for that. Ashton, thank you for giving the advice on Spike It. I didn't know that was free. I thought you had to pay for that. But if it's free, then yes. But I don't think it's free. Yeah, I may be wrong here. I mean, I was expecting a rejection right here, but we're kind of recovering a little bit. It's not a good sign for me. Hopefully we can reject. Come on. That would be nice. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be wrong. It's okay. I should have been long in it. Yeah, I may have traded Vuzi very sloppy. I just shorted it but got out just because... I don't know. I feel like I should get back in it. Nah, I'm gonna ignore Vuzi because I traded too sloppy. Actually, so like you'll see, I got in and got out twice. Just didn't like that. So because I traded it that way, I'm just gonna ignore it. Even if it works, It's a good lesson to stick to my plan next time. It's pretty much scratch on both sides. It's gonna work too, watch. It is all good. That's what happens when you get into you thinking and it's not sticking to the plan. Happens to all of us. So my last position is Riot, and I'm just watching it. And it's doing pretty well. No, I was shorting Boozy, by the way. Music is fire. Thanks, Dustin. I don't have a favorite setup. Adrian, God bless you all. Good night. God bless you too, brother. I do answer questions, but obviously you're right. You answered your own question. I imagine that while trading, obviously, right? You try it. Going for a breakout? No, I already answered that, my man. Adrian, yeah, it's breaking out, but the volume. I think you're referring to what I'm talking about. Yep. Voozy, hella choppy. Yeah, that's why I kind of just got out of it. And I was short because I thought we were going to have a pullback. And we may still have it, but because I wasn't confident, and you can tell my execution, I'm just not going to touch it. I'm going to stick with the ones I'm confident in. And Riot's been paying very well, so I'm happy with that. Let's see. So just to recap for those who are new here. First off, thanks for being here. We're almost at 100 likes. We're at 92 likes. So close. So if you can help a brother out, hit that like button. I appreciate it. Alex B, is this another scammer? What the heck? You see that scammer right there? Let's look at his name. Maybe not. Hopefully it's not. You don't have the picture as me. There's someone walking around acting as me trying to sell shit. Welcome though, if you're not. But what I will say, everyone, if you're new here, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please hit that like button. It's easy to do. It can help me out. I want you to know every Monday and Wednesday, like clockwork, at 12 market time, I release episodes of Be the Trader, which is a show, a podcast on video format as well. I interview successful traders who are way better than me, and also share my journey and help you out on what has helped me get consistent. On top of that, if you already know about that, thank you for being here again. If you haven't hit subscribe, think about hitting subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell though, because that's how you're going to be notified when I go live, because I just do it. I don't have a schedule. As top of that, also be aware that if you want to go above and beyond and help brother out, I appreciate it. You can just share the show with a friend, another trader. You can hit the bell or subscribe if you haven't, or you can do one of the other two things, and that is either check out the merch that we have that just came out. Go click on the store on YouTube, or click that join button and make a small pledge to the show. Like I believe it was Alex who did that earlier, Alex Lee. I appreciate that, brother. It means a lot to me. And the whole goal of this show, just FYI, is to give back and to help others succeed. But also the main mission is really to change the trading community for the better. So I hope I can inspire you in some way to give back and help others. So as you get better in your journey, or maybe you're already there, maybe you're killing it, help others, do what you can, because it's so easy to flip a switch and just say, pay me $200 a month every month to be in a chat room, to ask questions and never get answered, to never get live trading, to never get anything, right? And just flexing all day. It's easy to do that. It's harder to just trade and give back and help others. So I'm hoping I can ask you to go the hard route and go that direction. Excuse me. Oh, you're not a scammer, Alex B? Ah, good. Well, you have the same name as me, and that's Sketch. Because there's no joke, tons of Twitter scammers acting as me, selling shit. And there's tons of people commenting as me on my channel. It's annoying. But I appreciate you being here, bro. I do not know Dan. Funky time. I watch your YouTube vids all the time. Thanks, man. What pre-market OTC scan do you use? I don't use any OTC scan because I don't really trade them. That's the one thing I don't trade, really. Yeah, Pokar. It's a good thing I got out of the boozy. Yeah, for sure. Because I remember I was saying it's more long bias. So why was I shorting it? And that's how I can tell I was conflicted. So I was just like, I'll just get out. Like, I'm not going to touch it. Scott M, he goes, I'll like and sub and notice if you acknowledge this chat. I mean, I've been acknowledging the chat the entire time. So, hey, man, sorry if you haven't got your question answered. But if you want your question answered, sometimes it just gets missed because there's a lot of questions. I'm answering questions on Twitch, Facebook Live, and YouTube. So you got to bear with me. And I do this for free. So, hey, there's that. Alex B, would you consider yourself as a pattern trader? No. I consider myself a trend... How do I say this? Like, I'm a price action trader, an intraday swing trader. An intraday price action swing trader is pretty much what I do. Nice popping off on Riot. I mean, at this point, I'm going to hold my last piece to see if we can get a squeeze to 53. But really, ideally, I mean, we don't have real resistance. I mean, we have resistance to 53. Don't get me wrong. Look at that shit. So I might sell the rest there. But it'll be cool if we can bust right through it so I can hold the 54. But more than likely, I'll sell at 53. Nilas, he's saying ears. He thinks it's a good short. Maybe. It's a lovely line there, though, for sure, dude. I can see that 100%. And we know it has a history of failing. And we have resistance at 440. There's a lot going for it. I personally don't like time of day right now, but it looks really good, man. If you got short around here in the 420s, good for you, man. Risk reward is okay, so good for you, brother. Glad you found it. Hopefully you did well on it. I completely took it off the radar, and sometimes that's a mistake, and it definitely was a mistake. So good job, man. But I'm going to focus on the trade I'm in. Oh, man. Thank you, Funky Time, for doing that, my man. Appreciate it. If you want to go above and beyond, brother, just share the show. Spread the word. Spread the love. Thank you, Hey, by the way, thank you all for helping me get to 100 likes. I appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a lot. Appreciate you. It means a lot to me. Alex Lee, again, thank you for being a new pledger to the show. That means a lot to me. And Locke, I think you donated on Super Chat the other day. Appreciate that too, brother. Nathan Miranda says, you interviewed a guy with a high win rate, but lower than usual profit potential. It was really nice to see because I have a similar strategy. Yeah, man. There's all types of ways to trade. And it was really cool to see that too, I thought. Because there's so many different styles. And there's not one right way. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing. Still rising. add more probably. And let's see. Harry Sand, what are the factors that help the stock move? People, right? Volume, setups, because they're kind of self-fulfilling. And of course, some type of reason behind it, maybe. It doesn't necessarily need it, but a catalyst of some sort. Spontnet 22, you're like the modern day Napoleon Hill. Thank you, man. Appreciate it, brother. Scott M, be careful, B. Get too big, YouTube come looking for you. I have no idea what that means. Harry Sand, what are the factors that help you stock? Oh, I just answered that. Harry Sand, as I have built my patterns, but sometimes works and sometimes not. Yeah, it can happen like that. So I'm just adding onto this dip here because I kind of like this. And I'm going to give it some room here. Breaking down a little bit. Not too bad though. Stand by. I do have to use the restroom real quick. 1 second. Alright, I'm back. And it looks like it's kind of dipping. Doesn't look good, right? Definitely doesn't look great. AG from Facebook, almost lunchtime. I am done with my trade. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I agree. It's almost lunchtime, so you gotta be careful, which is, I'm watching this last trade right here pretty closely. I'm probably not gonna add any more, and I'll probably be getting out here soon. But I'm gonna give it some room because remember, it's choppy. And Bitcoin's still moving up. So I'm gonna give it its breathing room. It could easily come down and crack higher, but I'm gonna give it some room, like I said I was. Because why not? Why not stick to the plan? Because it could easily squeeze. And if it starts to squeeze, then that'd be really nice, right? But if it doesn't, then I'll get out. Remember, I'm watching Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the leader on this stock. And so I want to see if Bitcoin just shits the bed, then yeah, I'm going to be getting out pretty quick. But right now, Bitcoin's really not shitting the bed, so Riot is just choppy. Oh yeah, Scott, this giant water bottle, dude. I drink this at least 1.5 a day. Why is it? Do you use hard stops from Jay Martin? Yes, all the time. All the time. Alex B, how many shares do you get per trade? I'm not going to share that because that's my own privacy. And that's all around P&L. I don't flex. I don't try to do that. I'll never do that, God willing. I like to just stay on process focus because it doesn't matter. All that matters is how you trade. Because if I said I trade 10,000 or one share, right? It doesn't matter because how does that affect you? It does nothing for you. Focus on what works for you and trade the size that's appropriate for you. Basically, at the end of the day, that question doesn't help you at all. Alex B, he now asks, what does BTC have to do with the stock you're trading? Riot and Bitcoin kind of move hand in hand. So I'm using Bitcoin as kind of like a leader. Oscar asked me, what broker do I use? I use Cobra Trading, best broker for day trading, for shorting mainly. For swing trading, I use E-Trade. Chase Norton, preach. What's up, brother? Thank you, man. Appreciate you being here too. Scott M, healthy. I try to be. Although I ate 3 slices of pizza yesterday, definitely not healthy. But I drink about 1.5 of these a day. And the time, there's a time period. It says I should be at 7 p.m. here. It's only 10 a.m. So I'm drinking this. By the way, if you're wondering whose question I'm answering, I'm talking to people on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Just FYI. So like this little rejection is not good. I don't like that. So I'm not completely going to ignore price action, but I don't like that. Like that's not a good sign to me. But I also can't ignore that Bitcoin's still looking good. And I know I'll be kind of upset if I just get out because I don't like something. So I'm going to just let it pan out. I think if we break this 50-80s, I'll be out. Just because that would be really bad price action. Even though Bitcoin's looking nice, I just don't... It would be very counterintuitive of me. I don't even know if that's the right word. But it would be not good. Because this is a short sign, right? I mean, you've seen me short things like this. And I mean, I don't use VWAP, but VWAP is under that. So it would just be too many things lining up that's negative. Are we gonna go? I mean, I would love it to clear this so I can feel a little bit better. Because if we break below here, I'm done. Gauge. I don't use VWAP because I just don't. I mean, I'm a short bias trader too. So there's been so many times you'll see me short stocks above VWAP all the time. And before I did try to use VWAP, and VWAP would get in my head, be like, oh, it's above VWAP, don't short it. Bullshit. AJB, good stuff, man. Very good discipline. When I first started trading, and I only traded like one setup or one pattern, I would go 3 weeks the same way, making one trade or none. It can get frustrating, but just know that that's the proper way. Okay, if it breaks there, I'm out and I'll be done for the day. And it'll be overall a decent day. Good trading. I hope it doesn't break, obviously. But I can't prevent it. You know what's really dope? That ad will be, I think, break even because of my initial entry, which would be dope. And that just happens to be break even. Like, I'm not going to hold something because it's break even. A little struggle there. The 50s. Bitcoin's pushing up again, so I'm hoping that gives some juice to Riot. Memphis asked me thoughts on VMAR. Nah, I don't like straight up spikes middle of the day like this. It could fail, it could hold. I don't really know, to be honest. I've got to take my dog to the vet today. Can't forget about that. I got to do that. AJB says he agrees with me on what I said about VWAP. Appreciate it. Doesn't mean I'm right. It just, my style of trading doesn't work for me. Nowhere Gauge. Hey, just so you guys know, because I say something, it just is on my point of view. So, doesn't mean it works for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many traders who swear by VWAP and they kill it. And then there's some like who don't. So I mean, it's all depends on you. Anton, I'm on my 4th year right now. I think I'm gonna be wrong on this Riot. On this last ad. It's like playing with our emotions, right? It's like, I'm gonna get you. Nah, I'm gonna get you. Nah, I'm good. It's like, you know, when I first started trading, I'm sure you felt that way, right? You be getting in a position, you'll be like, oh shit, I don't know if it's gonna work. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen like that for me. I'm saying that the longer you trade, it still happens. But how it happens isn't as dramatic. Now, if I throw in abnormal size that I'm not used to, hell yeah, it happens still. So it's just going to make sure you're in this position and in a size that's comfortable for you so you can relax. I didn't long boozy bourbon because I didn't like it. No problem, Oscar. I appreciate you too. Yeah, AJB, I'm looking at Bitcoin. Oscar, yeah, I think it's a good idea. If I would think it's a great idea to swing trade a $1,000 cash account, because I mean it's a cash account and you don't have over 25K anyway, and so why not take a position to swing? Because swings take days, weeks, months to pan out. I think it's a great idea, especially if you're working full time. Absolutely. Try trading while working. It's very difficult. It's kind of like trading while streaming. It's very difficult because I'm answering questions. I got people in here who are impatient, who are just like, oh, he's answering my question. That's okay. Like, I don't do this for the people who are impatient, for the people who are rude. I do this for the people who are nice and who want to give back too, right? That's what I do it for. Joey asked, what's the one setup that you would suggest? I mean, just because I suggest something doesn't mean it's the best one. I'm just going to say something off the top of my head. Breakouts. They're easy to do. They're easy to spot. You just got to work on them and practice. I know one trader that's all he does is buy breakouts, and he's phenomenal. And he was just on my episode that aired on yesterday. Asghar Ali asked me, are you thinking to short Rice? No, Rice wasn't even, that it didn't even cross my mind until I read it. So, nope, I'm not. You ever going to dabble in the options? Probably never. But if I do, I do. But I don't plan on it. Gage wants me to look at Archon. Ooh, I kind of, what's the volume? It's not bad, man. So this was a pattern I used to trade when I first started. Consecutive green up days, good little extension, and short the first red day. When I first started, that's what I did. Now, it's not that, I don't trade like that at all. But it reminds me of that, and it kind of like, oh, look at this little resistance. To me, it's a nice little trend right here. Okay, so this right here, I hate stocks that have like air pockets. You see this? I probably never touch that. But right now, it's starting to get volume, but at least these air pockets, I hate that. So like I'm waiting I would love for this volume to pick up. Because this right here, this is teleport. Literally teleports. Look at that. Look at this. I don't want to be in a stock at this price and then it teleport. Like, that's just not good risk management. So I'll watch it, but I have no interest right now. The longer this consolidates here, the worse position I'm in. Bitcoin's still looking okay though. That's probably why it hasn't died. If this can squeeze though, that'll be really nice, right? Like, it would be really nice. It would be so nice if it could squeeze for us. Please go ahead and squeeze, 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 squeeze. Jason, do you think Steven Dex has one of the better strategies? I don't think you could say that about anyone. Because the strategy fits that person's character. And if you don't understand that, you haven't been trading long, and that's okay. Just know that everyone trades different. You can learn a pattern from someone else and do terrible at it, and they do amazing at it. That's my printer. My wife's printing some documents. Okay, so this guy who's just promoting something, you're going to go ahead and get banned from here. So I will see you later, my man, because you are just promoting some random shit. I just hate that. I hate just people who try to sell stuff. AJB, your channel growth has been insane. I feel like the other day when I subbed, you were at 300 subs. Shit, to you it's been insane. It's been a long time, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here for so long too, man. Damn, that's crazy, dude. AJB, you've been here for a while, brother. I probably made a really bad decision by not selling a piece on this pop here. That's probably just due to distraction. So I'm unfortunately gonna have to sell a piece a little bit later. That sucks. But I'm still holding the majority of the position. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I don't like Very. I hate Very. I'm not even gonna look at it. It's just not a good setup. Okay, so real quick, just to let you guys know, I will, or I guess I want to say, thank you all for watching so far. Thank you for hitting that like button. If you haven't, think about hitting that subscribe. Go ahead and do it. Hit the bell so you're notified when I go live. And also so you're notified when I release episodes every Monday and Wednesday at 12 market time, like clockwork. It's me interviewing successful traders or me sharing advice on what has helped me find my own consistency. And then on top of that, if you are already a subscriber, thank you so much. If you want to go above and beyond there, you can go ahead and share the show with someone else. Check out the merch. Or go ahead and hit that join button, make a small pledge donation to the show, and I really appreciate whichever you do, whether it's share, subscribe, like, thank you all. But I'm going to call it a day. It's been 2 hours. I'm going to go work out, take the dog